we've got for you a cheeky little transfer window ranking.
All the other signings, Tom Bowley just going, yep.
Wait till you see this 55-year-old Bosnian in goal. And he's a Barclays man. What's he still doing playing? This is a blinder.
This is a cheeky blinder, you know.
They have spent money though. They spent They spent nearly 100 million.
You got to. I so many tweets were like, if this guy had a hairline, he'd be playing for Liverpool.
For me, they've had a very, very good window.
Yeah, I think they've got rid of pants players and they've got in some good players.
Very exciting signing. He's such a baller. He's had his injury issues. Yeah,
I know there's a player in there.
He is a baller.
He is so techie, mate.
This is immediately implosion.
This is relegation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Board Drawer, and today we've got for you a cheeky little transfer window ranking. We're going to kick it straight off alphabetically with your boys, the Gunners, Arsenal. Arsenal had a pretty strong transfer window.
Yeah,
maybe somewhat underwhelming.
It was weird because I think the general consensus amongst Arsenal fans just before deadline day was that this window has been terrible. We got Marino in, he's out for a couple of months. Calafiori started off the window very exciting. Everyone was like, oh, this could be a big window, blah, blah, blah. Obviously confirmed David Raya as a signing. And
Raheem Sterling on loan?
Raheem Sterling, that's what I'm saying. On the transfer deadline day, it all changed when we got Raheem Sterling in on loan.
Got Neto as well as a replacement for the outgoing Aaron Ramsdale. So yeah, you got Calafiori, Marino, Raya, Sterling, Neto. You obviously got Tierney, Tavares, and Marquinhos back from loans. Don't care about those.
Outgoings though. Jobs
big.
were done. Smith Rowe to Fulham.
£31 million.
Eddie Nketiah to Palace.
About £30 million.
Ramsdale to Southampton.
20 million.
Reece Nelson on loan to Fulham.
Yeah, I like that for him.
Lokonga on loan to Sevilla.
Yeah.
Fabio Vieira on loan to Porto.
That's a weird one for me. I feel like he could do something.
Yeah, I think he probably could, but I don't know. It is one of those. I think for me, the Raheem Sterling transfer makes it. The cheers. Blinder for the very best windows. Slight improvement. If a team, aka Arsenal, make a slight improvement. Nothing new is bang in the middle. We got worse for teams that got worse. And then right at the bottom, an implosion is inbound. That's how bad that transfer window was. And I think Arsenal reeks of a slight improvement.
Yeah. If Arsenal to have played a blinder, they would have needed to have gone out and probably splashed on a marquee signing. For me, these are all smart signings. They needed someone to come in and be a cover for Gabriel and also a cover for Zinchenko or Timber.
Gone are the days where Arsenal make stupid signings. I say in the last 2-3 years, we're one of the most astute teams in the transfer market.
Marino is exactly what they need in the midfield. They need someone who can play, who can allow Riceland to play, or they can.
If only Gabriel wasn't such a massive ogre and didn't fall on him in training and break his shoulder, maybe we'd be looking at a nice little signing. But we won't see him for a couple of months.
Making Raya permanent is a good bit of business.
Best keeper in the league, I hope.
And I really like Raheem Sterling.
I think it could prove to be cheeky.
He's only 29.
It could prove to be cheeky. If he's got the fire in his belly, which I think Maresca has literally handed it to him, come here, prove a point.
Is there anyone in the Premier League who's better at making line-breaking runs than Raheem Sterling? He is so dangerous.
I'm excited to see him, man. It'll be good.
Could we possibly see him play on the left? Could he be that solution there?
I think he might be.
And yeah, I really like that. And then Neto is
what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah, Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Ramsdale. You managed to get a combined like 80 million there for 3 bit part players.
Yeah.
Ramsdale not getting a look in.
2 of them academy as well, so straight profit.
Yeah, not getting a look in. Smith Rowe not getting a look in. And you made 80 million and you've only spent
barely
about 90 million. So
happy days. I think it's a slight improvement. I don't think it's a blinder in the market.
I would say it's a slight improvement.
Right, moving on to Bournemouth.
AFC Bournemouth.
The big one is Solanke out.
Yeah. The question is here, for me, are they better than they were last season? And we'll go through their incomings. So they bought in Evan Nilsson, Sinistera Unal from Getafe, Huijsen from Juventus, Araujo from Barcelona, Poulsen from Wellington. And they've got Daniel Jefferson on a free transfer. They've got Kepa on loan. Yeah, I don't know. The outgoings, mainly Solanke and then a couple of sort of
bit parts.
Yeah, Kiefer Moore went to Sheffield United.
I think, all in all, they're worse. I know Evan Nilsson could be good. We give him time. Sinistera, they had him on loan last season. They made it a perm. I like him. He came on against Everton, made a difference. I think Hjulsen from Juventus is a really good signing. I think he'll come good. But for me, they've lost their best player. They've lost their talisman, their goals.
They've lost the fairy on top of the Christmas tree.
Mate,
he was the one that brought it all together. He was the talismanic striker. And I don't think Evan Nilsson is the one to bring the goals. I worry to think where the goals will come from now.
And you got Kepa in goal now. I don't actually mind that as a signing. But for me,
I mean, that's not a bad sign when you lose Neto last minute.
We got worse, Bournemouth, I think.
So as well.
You can't lose Solanke and not getting a marquee name. And Evan Nilsson could prove to be one of those hidden gems. But I think you need guaranteed Premier League goals. And I don't know if this guy's it.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, boy.
So
active in the market,
busy, and they got their deals done early.
Yeah.
Let's start with their outgoings because they lost Diaby and Luiz,
which are first team names from last season.
Big players for them, for about just over 100 million.
Good money.
And then so
they got that 100 million plus the Champions League money.
Yeah.
Plus owners that are not shy of splashing the cash. Aston Villa are always going to splash cash this window.
Big time.
And they did.
And then they bought back Cameron Archer, didn't they?
And now he's gone on.
Then they sold him to Southampton. They bought him back for 16.5 euros, and then they sold him for 17.6. That's business.
That's hustling, baby.
But yeah, then they lost. They lost Luiz, bought in Onana, sort of and he's had a pretty decent start to the season.
Very good start to the season.
They bought in Ian Maatson from Chelsea. They brought in Jenny Philogene, who had a fantastic season in the Championship for Hull. Illing Jr. from Juventus, Lewis Dobbin from Everton, Baranecchia from Juventus as well, and Ross Barkley from Luton.
All in all, I think they've had a really good window. I think Amadou Onana, I was a little bit like, the fees are a little bit high, but like you said, started the season well. He's an absolute unit. He's young. He's going to come in, kind of dominate that midfield for them. I think that's a good signing. Ian Maatson at left back. I think Digne's a little bit pants. Ian Maatson, one of the most exciting kind of left back prospects.
Don't know about Philogene, to be honest.
We haven't seen much of him, but I think if you're getting him, one of the most exciting players in the champ last season for like 10, 15 mil, do it. And Ross Barkley, I think he's cheeky. I haven't seen much of him yet, but they're in Champions League football now.
It's experience. You need depth. You need players you can come straight in and not worry about it. He offers you sort of variety in that midfield. He can play forward. He can play deeper. Interesting. I think for me, I don't know if they've improved.
Oh, I was going to say a blinder. They definitely improved.
You think it's a blinder?
They've definitely improved.
Left back, all right. Maatson is an improvement on Digne. Is Onana an improvement on Douglas Luiz?
I'd say they're probably level.
Because Douglas Luiz was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons. Was Onana near that level? No.
Well, he was in a worse team, though.
Okay, but I don't think he was near Douglas Luiz's level.
Ross Barkley's a very good signing.
Is it?
Yeah. One of the most exciting midfielders in the Premier League.
He was good. He was good up until a point last season. I don't think he was consistently good throughout the season.
Oh, okay.
Losing Diaby
it's
and
definitely
Luiz,
not nothing new. It's minimum slight improvement.
I do not think it's a blinder, personally. I think it's...
we'll do slight improvement.
All right,
You've done me in with the tears here, because I'd say they're one up from slight improvement, but maybe one down from blinder.
I don't think they've improved that much.
I think they have. But next up, we've got Brentford, who, like Bournemouth that we were talking about earlier, lost their talismanic striker quite late in the window to Al Ali. Ivan Toney, 40 million. They signed Igor Thiago to replace him. The geezer's walked in on crutches, so we're not going to see him for about 3 months.
I think he's injured for 7 months.
That's mental.
They got done dirty there because they bought in a replacement, and Brentford have been brilliant, particularly at buying forwards. You look at Mope, Watkins, and then Toney. Ben Rama. They're fantastic at buying forwards. If they didn't sell him now, he's going to leave on a free.
Yeah.
And they've done well to get Saudi to pay 40 million.
I was going to say...
The closer it got to the window, people were like...
Don't need this guy.
Don't really want him anymore.
Yeah.
So they've done well. I think they got 42 million euros for him. They got 31 million for David Raya. There wasn't too many more outgoings. Zanka left. We didn't really get to see too much of him. Shandon Baptiste as well. Apart from that, not too much. And Yenka. But their incomings. So yeah, you said Igor Thiago come in. Not going to see him probably till next season. Van der Berg from Liverpool, 23 million,
which is interesting. I haven't seen much of him for 23. Seems a bit steep, but
Fabio Carvalho though,
I think could be a good signing.
23.4 million.
Really good in the champ last season.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic player. And then some geezer called Nunes from Gremio.
I don't think he's a good wing though. I think if we're talking like football wise, I think Brentford will be fine. They're very lucky they've got good forwards like Wissa and Mbomo. I think they're both quality.
Very
but
good.
We're talking transfer window, mate. I think they've got worse.
I am scared this could be implosion imminent. If you lose one of you lose Mbissa.
Yeah, one of Mbissa.
Yeah.
It's mental that no one's coming in for Mbomo. I really think he's top 6 quality.
Mate, if he wasn't
bald
and looked...
I've so many tweets like, if this guy had a hairline, he'd be playing for Liverpool.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's mad because he's quality.
He's so good.
Is it implosion inbound?
I think so. I think they did not do enough. Last season, they were fortunate that there was so many stinky teams in the league.
They're fortunate they've got a good manager and a couple of good players.
I can 100% see a top 6 team getting rid of their manager.
Getting Thomas Franklin.
Spurs,
mate, I'm telling you.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Right.
Man United.
Implosion inbound for Brentford. Up next, Brighton.
One of the masters of the market.
The masters of the market, indeed. I love it. Actually, I hate it because they can't keep getting away with it.
Let's talk about their outgoings before we get to the ingoings. They lost Undav, Billy Gilmore to Napoli. Napoli have got Billy Gilmore and McTominay.
They've got a Scottish midfield.
I love it. Pascal Gross is the big one though, isn't it? It's to Borussia Dortmund. They got 7 million from him at about 35 years old, which is 34 years old. So that's pretty good going. Mark Leonard went to Birmingham, which is a good signing for them. And then Dahoud and Lallana went to Southampton and Frankfurt on free transfers. Apart from that, not really too many notable outgoings, apart from maybe Pascal Gross.
But they got money burning a hole in their pocket. They got Caicedo money. They got McAllister money. Basuma money. Bloody Robert Sanchez money.
And they
Cucurella money.
They lost their manager. They're getting so much money in terms of compensation.
They're probably still getting compensation from Potter, yeah.
They bought in Jorginho Ruta from Leeds, 46.7 million euros.
A little bit steep, in my opinion.
I think so. But Minter from Newcastle for 35.
Which reeks of a dodgy FFP. I think Newcastle had to sell, didn't they?
Newcastle had to sell.
And
bare players.
Brighton got him on a cheap because I think Minter is one of the most exciting kind of young talents in world football.
One player that you pointed out earlier this season, Weifer from Feyenoord for 32.
Started off well in the Prem.
Gruda from Mainz, who for 31.5 million, who is someone that I've heard a lot about. Who's Stafford Bloor, the one who does Germany for Tifo. Yeah. He spoke a lot about him, really highly rated. Kadioglu from Fenerbahce and Matt O'Reilly, who got injured
first game.
Yeah.
Shout out Igor Thiago.
Just horrendous tackle.
Yeah. But I think Kadioglu could be a good sign. He was really good in the Euros.
And then Osman from Nordirland for 19.5.
Yeah, they've done a lot of good little moves here.
This is exactly what they do.
Depth across the board, kind of under appreciated names.
3 of those players are in 2 years' time is going to be sold for 90 million.
100%. I can see I've got João Pedro getting sold for 100 million like end of this season, I reckon.
Chelsea, United, one of those.
They got so many ballers, so many little gems, and yeah, I think they've kind of strengthened in areas that
I think they've improved overall.
Yeah, 100%.
They are. I think they played a blinder here. I think they really have.
I was going to say they've got a couple of deals that I think are maybe a little bit expensive, but when you got money, who gives a fuck?
But yeah, I don't know. I think
like Jorginho Ruta and maybe that Bajan Gruda are maybe a smidge expensive, but I think they've got depth, exciting depth. I think this is a good window.
Yeah, I think this is a very good window.
Should we put a blinder?
I think this is a blinder.
Well, I'm Brighton. From a team that is a master of the market to a team that is the absolute batty boy of the market.
Chelsea.
Right, where do we start?
Because they've made about their name 3 times. They'd turn up behind you and start spending money.
They've made about 1 trillion signings, so I don't even know where to start. Like, is it even worth talking about the outgoings? Because there's so many.
It's too many.
And incomings, to be fair.
It's too many, right. outgoings, yeah. Maatson, Gallagher, Hall, Lukaku, Amari Hutchinson, Thiago Silva, Ziyech, Malang Sarr, Alfie Gilchrist.
On loan, yeah.
Sterling on loan, Trevor Chalobah on loan, Emmanuel Broja on loan, and that's probably about it for the notable ones. Petrovic and Arrizabalaga out on loan. Incomings.
Pedro Neto, which
60
I think
million.
on the surface is a really good signing.
I think so as well.
It's a smidge of an injury record, but I think he's a good signing.
If you could keep him injury free, fantastic signing.
Value
A
for money.
bargain for 60 million.
Yao Felix, been around the block, can't find a home. Poor guy. But he's only 24 still.
Yeah,
I
he's still
know there's a player in there.
He is a baller.
He is so techie.
But
I don't know if Chelsea's the place to find your home.
The real question for
honest.
me is like they got rid of Havertz and then signed someone who basically is Havertz.
Yeah, but a bit techier, but not
But
as
maybe
good.
just
maybe
not as good.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, he hasn't found his home. He's kind of hot from club to club. Is this kind of weird, toxic Chelsea right now the place to find your home? I don't know. But he's back, 50 mil. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
I don't hate it because all the other signings are Todd Bowley just going, yep. At least this one is Enzo Maresca saying, I managed this guy last season. There's a link there. There's like that one semi makes sense. The rest are just random names. Like Philip Jorgensen hasn't started a game yet. Is he going to be their starting goalkeeper? I don't know. Renato Vega looks like bloody, I don't know, Denzel Curry, but came on at left back against Man City. He looked all right. I don't know. There's so many. Tosin Adarabioyo on a free. I think it's a good move.
That's about the only value for money here. Mike Zhu from Barcelona. They're just buying players for the sake of buying players.
It got to be hauling players knowing there's some kind of dodgy transfer ban coming in.
And I mean, Ian Maatson out, Conor Gallagher out, Lutz Hall out, Lukaku out, Amari Hutchinson out.
I think they've got worse.
They lost Silva. He was probably like one of the most consistent players, although he's been way too old.
Have they got worse? Nothing new?
Ziyech.
Is it nothing new because it's just fucking boring?
I don't know if they've got worse.
Let's go nothing new. It's nothing new. It's same old Chelsea shit.
They're going to be in big trouble soon.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
Right.
Inshallah. Crystal Palace, who have had a weird window.
I mean, so it started off bad. They lost Elise.
And then there was talks of them losing
Mark Gay.
There was rumours about Eze, but luckily they kept both of those guys.
Then they lost Anderson to Fulham.
And I think that made them say, we can't lose Gay as
If
well.
you lost Anderson Gay,
Mate,
this is immediately implosion.
This is relegation.
They would have lost their two best defenders, plus one of their best forwards.
Forwards, yeah.
They've done well to keep a hold of Gay and Eze.
100%.
But have they done enough? So they bought in Ismail Assar from Marseille.
Meh.
I think that's very, very meh.
Yeah.
I think
He'll be all right, but just not the level of Elise.
They bought in Lacroix from Wolfsburg.
Yeah. Which was their target signing if Gay was to leave.
Yes.
So I think getting him in.
I think he looks very much like Saliba physically.
Yeah, I've heard
if he
good
looks
things.
like Saliba, plays like half like Saliba, it'll be alright.
I've heard good things about him, to be fair. So I think that's all right.
Riyadh from Betis.
Although in his announcement video, they used the song "I Got a Vibe," so that's just bad.
They bought in Kamada as well,
who, by all accounts, hasn't had a great start to the season, but I think he's a good signing.
I think he will come good. They're sort of marquee signing, bring the boy home. Eddie Nketiah.
I think that's a good signing.
It's a very good signing.
I think him and bloody Jean-Philippe up top could be naughty. Eze in behind. Oh, man.
I really like it. I really like it. This is his time now. This is his time.
Give him a run of fixtures. This guy is gonna cook.
It's now or never.
And that with on deadline day Trevor Chalobah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. They lost Sam Johnston to Wolves, and then they bought in Matt Turner. Which is fine. But for me,
is it a slight improvement though if you lose Elise and Anderson?
Definitely nowhere near an improvement. You can't lose Elise and Anderson.
Yeah.
Because realistically, if they keep Mateta, they didn't really need Nketiah, I don't think.
I like Nketiah as a move, though. I think it's a nothing new. I think they're about the same.
I think we got worse. I think losing Elise and losing Anderson is massive. They haven't really replaced Anderson.
And they haven't really replaced Elise. All right. They have got worse. Up next, Everton. Good God. This reeks of implosion inbound. So they lost. They've got two major assets at that club right now. They had Onana and Jared Brantwaite. If they lost both of them, inshallah, that's relegation.
Big time.
They kept one of them. They kept Jared Brantwaite.
I think they've done well because they got 60 million for
and they
Onana.
got 60 mil for Onana. The rest, they let Ben Godfrey go to Atlanta, Lewis Dobbins to Aston Villa, Neil Maupay, get him out of the club because he is causing more trouble than he's worth.
And that was it, really, for big losses. Danjuma went back, Broyo went back.
And then inbound, Jake O'Brien from Lyon as a centre-back. Who the hell is that guy? Iliman Ndiaye, I think, could prove to be a really good move. He got his first start against Bournemouth on the weekend, was really good, got subbed off, and then they conceded 3. So he has no part to play in that absolute shamble. But I think he could be a really good signing. Tim Irabunum actually looked really good in that game as well.
I love Tim Irabunum. I love him so much. He is so good.
He is. I like him. Asmir Begovic as a backup to your boy Jordan Pickford.
I tell you what, yeah. If you think Pickford's bad, wait till you see this 55-year-old Bosnian in goal.
Come on.
And he's a Barclaysman. What's he still doing playing?
He is mental. Like, you can't be that old and playing goal.
He was a liability
it's like
for
when
us last season,
bloody
mate.
Arsenal got Petr Cech. It's like, mate, you shouldn't be playing.
You know, sometimes you bring in an old keeper, you think, like, that's steady the ship.
Yeah.
He was a liability, but he was horrendous.
And then transfer deadline day, they got Armando Broja in, which I think could be a good signing because I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is pants. So I don't mind him, but they've got worse, haven't they, really? And Ndie's a good signing. Irabunum's a good signing, but losing Onana.
I really like Ndiaye and Irabunum.
Have they stayed the same? Now they've got worse.
Have they?
Yeah. The start of the season would suggest they've got worse.
This is how they started last season.
Yeah.
Exactly how they started last season.
Just
and apart from the difference is they don't have Brantwaite.
Nothing new? Nah, it's bad.
I think it's nothing new.
I think they've got worse.
Okay.
Everton fans, let us know in the comments down below. How would you rank your transfer window?
Fulham.
Why have I got Southampton in? Go away.
Right, moving on to Fulham. Fulham obviously lost João Palhinha early on the window. No real noticeable losses apart from maybe Decordova-Reid and Adebayo.
Jay Stansfield to Birmingham.
I mean, they got 17.8 million. They've had their pants down.
You take it.
But
yeah, losing Palhinha, you're thinking they need to do some business here to kind of make up for that big loss.
Yeah, Palhinha, Decordova-Reid and Adebayo, 3 stalwarts of the team. Adebayo, who I thought was actually quite good last season.
Yeah.
But then they've had a very good window, in my opinion. Emil Smith-Rowe from Arsenal for 30 million.
Going to be one
already proven
nice.
dividends. Like, he's going to be fantastic for them.
Yeah.
Once he gets 100% match fit, once he gets a run of games under his belt, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And it's the same thing they did with Adrianus Pereira before.
Give the boy a home.
Exactly. Joachim Andersen. He's one of our favourites at the match in the Premier League. Ball playing. He's defensively sound.
Yeah, it's weird that he made the move from Palace to Fulham. I think he is one of those players that just reeks of, I want to live in the nice part of London. I'll get that move.
Yeah.
Get that bag in.
Sanderberg from Burnley beat off Man United for this.
Don't mind it, you know.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I mean, it's good depth. They brought back Ryan Sessegnon on a free.
Reece Nelson on loan, I like.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, you know. I
think they've got better.
But the Palhinha is a big loss, you know.
Losing Palhinha, but getting Smith-Rowe, Anderson and Berg.
Yeah, I back it.
I think it's an improvement.
Slight improvement for Fulham. Right, up next, who we got?
Ipswich.
Newly promoted Ipswich. It was a tricky one because they've got...
It's always hard doing this for promoted teams because we're at a level in the Championship and have they improved? It's hard to say.
And they've got a lot of need to keep the Donnies that they had on loan last season.
I don't really care about their outgoings. I'm
No.
not going to touch on it. Mark Harness at Derby, who cares? For me, they've had a very, very good window. Omari Hutchinson,
Quality.
Jacob Greaves,
Quality.
Liam Delap.
Scored a banger on the weekend. He looks good.
He is one to watch. He's
I
a
think
force
so.
to reckon with.
Because he is a unit. He's built.
Yeah. Jack Clark from Sunderland.
Good.
He's a fantastic player.
Yeah, nice.
O'Shea from Burnley. Fantastic defender. Sammy Smodics.
Goal scorer.
Goal scorer. And Muric from Burnley. Ogbin from Luton. I don't mind
I
it.
like it, you know. Calvin Phillips on loan.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind it either, you know.
I really don't mind
Have
it.
they done a little blinder here?
Ben Johnson.
Nice.
Good depth.
Yeah. Have they
Connor
done
Townsend. Me, this is a blinder.
This is a cheeky blinder, you know.
They have spent money though. They spent
You got to.
They spent nearly 100 million.
You got to. You got
100
to.
million.
You got to. If you stay in the Prem, that's 100 million worth it.
But it is a blinder.
It's a blinder.
It's
I am
100% a blinder.
to a team also coming up from the champ, Leicester City.
Right.
Reek of kind of transfer problems and financial issues.
They lost Kieran Drisby Hall, right?
Yeah.
Which is a big loss. He was their best player. Then they lost Iheanacho on a free to Sevilla. I don't know what Sevilla are cooking, but I don't like the taste of it. And then their incomings are just like, they don't really fill you with.
Mate, you've
Oliver
got
Skip.
a midfield of Harry Winks and Oliver Skip.
I just reeks, doesn't
That's
it?
so dead. That's like, there's a reason they didn't make it at Tottenham. There's a reason they're not going to get you survival in the Prem. They're not at the level, mate.
They bought in Bilal El Khanous, Moroccan attacking midfielder.
Don't mind it.
Can't say I know too much, but here's what it is. Fatawu from Sporting, good.
Good signing, I think.
Jordan
Ayew, Prem proven. Don't mind it.
deckled over Reed on a free.
Prem
It's okay.
proven. Don't mind it.
Buonanotte on a loan and Edouard on a loan.
Buonanotte scored on the weekend.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. Edouard, not really Prem proven, but don't mind
I
it.
don't mind it. So
I'm
much.
not inspired at all by this, though.
I think they have got worse.
They have got worse, haven't they?
I think they deeply have.
Right, but is it so bad that there's an implosion inbound?
I think that there's just generally an implosion happening at
It's
the
just
club.
lurking.
So
Right.
we'll think about it.
We'll think about it, but right now they got worse. Up next, we've got Liverpool.
Big old Liverpool, and it was maybe a quieter window than was expected. Arne Slot coming in, maybe you're expecting a few more.
I think it was one of
Players
those
in,
where it's
players
like,
out.
come in, assess the situation rather than buy.
They've done well.
And yeah, outgoings. Vandenberg to Brentford and Carvalho to Brentford for a combined kind of 45-ish million, which I don't know what's going on there.
Van der Berg is what it is. It's like a young player being bought through. He's not really going to get a
Yeah.
look in.
Carvalho surplus to requirements, maybe.
I think so as well. I
And
think.
then in come in, they got Mamadashvili, who's gone straight back out on loan, preparing for the imminent. Why is it imminent? I don't know. When are they getting rid of Alisson?
Potentially, I
'Cause
think,
that's a big loss.
yeah, if they lose Alisson, but
Alisson and Salah, but yeah, good signing. I think by all accounts, had a good Euros, and then Federico Chiesa.
very exciting signing. He's such a baller. He's had his injury issues,
Yes.
but he is going to tear up the Premier League.
I'm excited to see him in the Prem. More
I mean-
Italians in the Prem.
Have they got the best forward like
Yeah,
pool
yeah,
in the
probably.
Premier League?
I think so. Maybe Man City.
I don't know.
It's good. I think Liverpool. Is it a slight improvement? I think it is.
I think it's a slight improvement. Yeah, they haven't really lost anyone of any
No,
real
I mean,
note,
no.
but I really, really like Chiesa. I really like that.
I'm very
For
excited.
12 million, and bloody Jay Stansfield was 17.5 or
Yeah.
20 million.
Yeah. So somebody
Nuts.
tweets like, "Why did Birmingham sign Chiesa?"
That's
Anyway.
nuts.
Up next, Manchester City, who it be what it be with Manchester City. Everyone kind of goes into transfer window thinking these guys are going to splash big. They actually haven't. Let Alvarez go for 75 million euros to Atletico Madrid. João Cancelo to Al Hilal. Taylor Harwood-Bellis gone to Southampton. And then
Gomez and Tommy Doyle gone.
bits and bobs. And incomings, only really Savinho from Troyes or Girona as he was
All
on
part
loan.
of the City group, innit?
It's all a little bit dodge, but he's looked pretty good. And they got Gundogan back towards the end of the window. I think that could be
Mate,
the
so
kind of...
they sold Gundogan, got him back on like probably less money, and I think he's just the smartest bit of business ever. He was so good.
He's so good,
on the
and
weekend
yeah,
against West
so
Ham.
good on the weekend. It's mental that Barcelona let him go, but they've lost Julian Alvarez, and I think this is a net negative.
I think this is very neutral.
Neutral.
I think if you bring in Savinho, who I've enjoyed watching so far, and bring in Gundogan on a free, I don't think they're any worse off. The only issue
Alvarez is a big loss.
if they lose, if they lose Haaland, they play Foden in the 9.
They play Alvarez.
They
don't have Alvarez.
They've got bloody academy prospects who can come in and do bits. I really don't think this is a loss at all.
Nothing new.
75 million is probably good money for him.
Agreed. Yeah, it's actually really good money, to be fair. They are a good selling club, Manchester City. But on the other side of Manchester, Ineos's Manchester United.
Who went kind of ham this window.
They did. Man United always go kind of ham, but they go kind of ham in a dumb way.
So,
are you saying they've gone ham in a non-dumb way?
Yeah, notable losses are McTominay and Wan-Bissaka.
McTominay's a huge loss, mate.
We won't talk about the dodgy guy that went to Marseille. They've let
Marseille signed all sorts of dodgy man.
You see that
bloody
that
moped
FIFA clip where
there.
it's like good versus evil FC,
Yeah,
and evil FC's got Hitler and
Mate, it's literally like prison FC over in Marseille.
Bad.
It's mad.
Yeah, they let go. So McTominay and Wan-Bissaka gone. Sancho out on loan. Apart from that, nothing really of any note. Pellistri went to Panathinaikos for 6 million.
I didn't even know that happened.
But yeah, nothing really too bad. But incomings, Lenny Euro
injured on pre-season.
Yep.
Mad.
Manuel Ugarte.
Good
workout.
I
They need someone in that midfield.
He's young, potential to be a good signing.
Mateus de Ligt. He's struggled to settle everywhere.
He reeks of João Felix at Chelsea, a player that's not found a home for a long time. Is this toxic place going to be his home? I don't know.
Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna.
I'm unsure on him.
Mazraoui from Bayern Munich for 15 million.
Liked him so far, yeah.
Not bad. Is it better or is it worse?
It's better, I think. Yeah, it's an improvement.
I mean, it was hard to get worse.
Yeah.
They brought in a forward, which is what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 1 goal in 3 appearances so far. It'd be what it be. It's unfortunate that Euro has been injured because they could definitely do with some recuperation at the back. But De Ligt,
him and De Ligt in paper, no injuries taken into account. That's good defensive recruitment.
I think Ugarte could be what they need in midfield. Replace Casemiro, get him out of the club, sell him in January. And Mazraoui, I think it's a smart bit of signing for fairly cheap as well.
Have they had a blinder? No.
I think it's slight improvement. Yeah. I wouldn't say they needed more than this.
Yeah, 100%. Right, up next, Newcastle United.
So Newcastle, the main thing they wanted to do was get Mark Gay over the line. It didn't happen for them. They lost Elliot Anderson, but they got 41 million euros for him.
Yeah, they had to sell.
And then they sold Minter for 35 million euros.
They had to sell. I think they've had an implosion inbound window. They've spent all window trying to chase Mark Gahey. Started at 40 mil. Crystal Palace said from the off, we want 65 mil. They worked up in £5 million increments all the way to the end of the window. And then Crystal Palace were like, no, we've lost Anderson now. We're not going to let him go. And they've just mugged themselves off.
So they bought in Lewis Hall for 33 million.
Which is fine. They had him last season anyway. So
Vlachodimos from from Forest, sorry.
Stupid signing.
Asula from Sheffield United.
Stupid signing.
11 million.
Lloyd Kelly on a free. Their only good signing is Lloyd Kelly on a free.
I agree. I really, yeah.
This is an implosion window.
They've lost Minter, who's done really well at Brighton so far.
Yeah.
They've lost Anderson, who's actually looked fairly alright.
I think the only good thing they've had is Tonali's back. That's like a new signing.
That is like a new signing.
But
I think Lewis Hall is okay.
Yeah. No, bad window. Implosion.
The fact they did not get Gay over the line,
it's
and
bad.
they didn't have a backup,
yeah.
And now they've got Kraft and fucking, what's his name in centre
Dan
back?
Burns.
Dan Burns.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's bad.
It's bad. But they sit on 7 points.
They do.
As of recording this video. So
they've got a good squad.
So, yes. Heading over to Nottingham Forest, though. Elliot Anderson, 41 million euros. Morato from Benfica, 15 million. Milenkovic, 14 million.
Like that sign.
Sosa, Carmo, Jota Silva,
Stamenich.
It's all these names and I don't know who they are.
Yeah, 100%.
James Ward-Prowse on a free,
Could
though.
be cheeky, yeah.
And Alberto Moreno on a free as well. I don't mind that, you know.
Yeah. How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this window?
And Mangala.
And Joe Worrell.
And Scott McKenna. And Embasso.
Are they
and
better?
Liverpool.
It's like you said. It's a lot of names.
I think this is net neutral.
Net neutral?
I think this is so net neutral.
Right, nothing new for them. And up next, Southampton, the last of the newly promoted boys.
Taylor Harwood-Bellis,
Good.
like it.
Yeah.
Ramsdale, like
Good.
it.
I like it.
Really like it. Flynn Downs, I
Fairs.
like it.
Yeah.
Cameron Archer,
I like it.
I'm unsure.
I like it, I think.
I really did like him when he was at Preston.
Yeah, I think I like it.
he struggled. Didn't really kick on at Sheffield United.
And then he's had like a weird situation at Villa. But I think overall, if you get him started,
Fernandez from Sporting.
eh,
Brereton and Diaz.
really like it. Sugawara scored a banger on the weekend.
Edwards from Peterborough. Don't mind it. Ryan Fraser. Lallana on a free. It'd be what it be.
Cornet as well. I think that's a good move.
Ogachukwu. Notable outgoings, Alcaraz and Mara.
I think they're better.
I think they've improved. I don't know if this is a blinder.
Nah, slight improvement. Up next, Spurs.
Notable losses, Oliver Skip, Emerson Royale, Joe Rodon, and Lo Celso.
Skip and Royale, get them out the door, their pants anyway.
Sessegnon, Ndombele, Eric Dyer.
They got rid of
Højbjerg?
bad players.
Højbjerg?
Yeah, I think they've got rid of pants players and they've got in some good players.
Incomings.
Dom Solanke.
Berval,
Berval's good.
Odebear, Alfie Gray.
Archie Gray.
Sorry. Dominic Solanke.
I think what Spurs are doing well is recruiting youngsters. They've got a nice kind of base of young players. Archie Gray, Odebear, Berval, all under 20 years old. Along with the likes of Dragashan, Brennan Johnson. You've got a nice young core there. And then they've married that with Dom Solanke signing, which is straight here and now, Bagsman. What I would have liked to see is maybe one or two kind of pre-improvement at their peak age, like Dom Solanke signings, where they've spent maybe a little bit too much on youngsters and not enough on here and now.
I think they
But
have
it's good.
They have a
good
good squad.
Yeah.
Vicaro's a fine goalkeeper. Porro, Udogi, good wing backs. Christian Romero, Van de Ven, Dragusan.
Good.
I think it's fine.
Mm.
Then you get to like that Basuma, Benton core.
The midfield stinks a little bit for me.
Madison is sort of so-so. Son, I would say good. Solanke, good.
Shane is injured at the moment, but yeah, good.
Richarlison,
Being him
bad.
off, yeah.
I think he's injured still.
Yeah.
Again. And Johnson, Kulusevski, I'm like, I think there was more they could have done going forward.
Yeah, I think
But
they need a couple more, like,
in
notable
terms of the outgoings,
statement signings.
they've done well.
Mm.
And I think they have slightly improved.
Yeah, I think they've slightly improved. Right.
From one side of London
To another
to
side of
to
London.
another side of London.
West Ham.
They've had a very busy window. We'll start with their outgoings. Flynn Downs to Southampton. Ben Rama went to Lyon. Tilo Kehrer went to Monaco. Trott to Copenhagen. And that's about it. Bono went to Watford on a free transfer.
Oh,
Brent Johnson went to Ipswich. Ward-Prowse obviously to Forest. Cornet to Southampton.
It's all about the incomings because West Ham had an exciting start to the window where they got over the line the likes of Max Kilman from Wolves, £45-ish million. Crescencio Somerville from Leeds, £30 million. Hotly tipped, kind of exciting Nicholas Fulkrug. Can he do it in the Premier League? Who
I've
knows?
heard he's Danny Ings with bad teeth.
I saw a clip of him where he was like tracking the ball or like running for the ball, and a guy that was like 5 yards.
He's so slow.
Yeah, he's so slow.
But he's a bagsman.
He's a bagsman. I'm excited to see him. But Carlos Soler could be interesting. Todibo in defence could be interesting.
What about you? You skip past Wan-Bissaka, who I think's been really good for them.
Wan-Bissaka's a good signing.
I think that's a very good signing. And Lewis Guillaume. I think West Ham might play a blinder here.
Do you reckon?
I really think so. I think they bought in Opetegi, they backed him, they bought in Max Kilman, which I think's been a fantastic signing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal signing. I think they've looked at their forward line in Antonio, Danny, just like, ugh. Just get someone in who's going to see all you got. Fulkrug will finish the season on 10 plus goals, which is fine.
Oh, big shout.
But they've got goals in Kudus, Bowen, Paquetá.
Yeah.
You know, and then they've improved their right back by getting Wan-Bissaka in. They've improved the centre-back by getting Max Kilman in. I think it's a blinder of a
It's
window.
a blinder of a window.
They've got Somerville in as well, Crescencio Somerville.
Yeah, I love it.
I think it's fantastic. Fantastic window.
Right, and then to round it all up, Wolverhampton Wanderers, as we mentioned, lost their main guy in Max Kilman, lost another one of their main guys in Pedro Neto.
It was a rough start to the window.
But
for
they
a
made
team
good money,
as well,
100 million for those
where
two.
I think they needed to go maybe quite heavy in the window. Aging centre-back line, lost Kilman, Jose Sarr's being outed a lot, and they were likely to lose Neto going into this. Brought in Andre from Fluminense, Gomez from Braga, and Sam Johnson from Palace. Pedro Lima, Tommy Doyle.
It's not inspiring.
It's not inspiring, and I'm really worried for them. I think this could be implosion imminent.
Implosion inbound for Wolves. Let me run you through the tiers before we round up. So, in implosion inbound, the worst windows go to Brentford, Newcastle, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Teams that got worse: Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Everton, and Leicester City. Nothing new, stayed the same. Chelsea, Man City, Nottingham Forest. Slight improvements go to Arsenal, Aston Villa, Fulham, Liverpool, Man United, Southampton, and Spurs. And then at the top, the three teams that have had a blinder window: Brighton, Ipswich, and West Ham.
I'm very happy with that.
I'm very happy with
It's
that.
almost a balanced list.
Let us know if you'd change any of the teams we ranked, where you'd put them, who's had a good window, who's had a bad window. Let us know
Have
your
we
team's
had
window.
a stinker?
Have we had a stinker?
Yeah, if you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you are subscribed, hit like, comment down below. Check us out on all our socials, links in the description. The content's coming thick and fast. It is international break at this moment.
As we speak.
But we will be back to your regularly scheduled Premier League content very shortly, and we'll be pumping out all sorts of other content to make you sure you are around. Any other last words?
Nope, subscribe.
Hasta la vista, baby.